how's it going? So, I'm still here in the Blue Mountain Range of Northeast Oregon as usual. And this is just my driveway. Um, and I have been asked again and again and again to make this video, and sometimes I'm just lazy, folks. No, I just don't have time to get around to stuff more often than not. But you all always ask me about wild lettuce. Can I make a wild lettuce tincture? How do I, wild lettuce, wild lettuce, wild lettuce? Well, we have prickly lettuce here, and she is the cousin of wild lettuce, and these plants are just as interchangeable. Like, there's really no difference because we're after one thing: her latex. So wild lettuce, people think of her as like an opiate. She's good for pain relief. She doesn't actually have opiate in her. It's just that her latexes, they are related, kind of like California poppy is, and they hit the same GABA receptors and opiate receptors, in case you didn't know you had those in your brain. That's what they hit, those same receptors. So it gives us a little bit of a dopamine rush and a little bit of pain relief, and that is usually what she's used for. When you make a tincture out of your wild lettuce or your prickly lettuce, she is going to help with mild pain, joint-related pain. She's even, because she's an antispasmodic, which means she helps things stop twitching, kind of. She's really good for digestive pain too, because usually when you have like a sudden cramp, what's happening is like the muscles in your digestive tract are actually like clamping down. You're like, oh, that hurts. And so she goes in there and she calms it down. Traditionally, both prickly lettuce and wild lettuce have been used to help people who are coming through opiate addiction, because she has the same euphoric feeling and hits those same receptors in our brain without actually being addictive. And so she's pretty fantastic for that. She's also good for mild anxiety and insomnia, and she's really, really highly invasive. So she's basically growing everywhere in North America, lots of places in Europe. She's opportunistic. And did you actually know that these are the ancestors of like your salad? These are the original lettuces, and you really wouldn't want to crunch down on her in that way, although every part of her is edible, and in the spring a lot of people do eat these leaves just as a wild edible. Now I'll have him get close so you can see her a little bit closer. Now, really the only difference ID wise between prickly lettuce and wild lettuce is that prickly lettuce, her leaves go all the way up the stalk like this, and wild lettuce tends to stop and then the bloom bolts up without any more leaves. And then of course you can see why they call her prickly lettuce. Right there. They're not overly sharp. I mean, they'll poke you, and her edges are really well serrated on her leaves, really well defined. And these are her blooms. She hasn't bloomed yet. I like to get her just before she blooms. You'll read all types of information about that. Some people say that you need to get her after she blooms, before she even creates blooms. I think, and I feel just from experience of using her, that she works best just before she blooms, but honestly I'd use her at any point in time. Now the thing that we are after here, and her blooms will be yellow, by the way. The thing that we are after here, I'm going to have him get close and I'm going to show you. I'm going to have to take one of her leaves. The thing that we are after is in her. Look at that. Instantly comes out. You are after that latex. Now I'm always telling you to use fresh plants to make a tincture, and I stand by that, but this is one of those ones where you can't be like, well, I don't have any fresh plant matter, so I'm just going to use it dried, because all that latex, which is what you're after, is gone. It dissipates. It goes away once you've dried the plant, and you are basically trying to tincture that latex. And now when I do tincture her, you're using all above ground parts, and I'm going to make a tincture video, so don't worry. So I'll get to that. But you want to use her above ground parts. I don't necessarily use the bloom. I like to use the leaves that are still green. You wouldn't want to take these really yellow dead leaves or anything like that, because she doesn't have any latex in her. But also, don't be afraid to use the stem, because that's where all this latex is coursing through. Now, of course, you know, she is going to make you sleepy. If you take too much, you're going to feel gross. And so she's one of those, like, as needed. Like, if you're in some pain, you can use her in small amounts to help yourself. But you wouldn't want to be like, oh, every day, all day, because you'll just kind of feel yucky after a while. So she's an as needed ally. But again, this is prickly lettuce. Same for wild lettuce. And she basically grows. She likes these really. This is a drainage thing that we had put in for our driveway because we get a lot of snow and stuff here. It looks like a pond, but it's not. And so we just had this done this last November or so, and she's already here. She shows up strong. Let me see, somewhere here, look, here is a smaller lady who's just barely going to bloom. And they start pretty small and they work their way up. But yeah, so these are out there and you are smart enough to do this. That is the most important thing out of any of my videos I want you to take away. That no matter what life has made you believe, that no matter what someone may have told you, you are smart enough to get out here and make a connection with these plants and get curious, and the knowledge that you gain and the things that you self-teach are valid. You don't need to pay somebody thousands of dollars to get into herbalism, especially in the United States where there's no such thing as a certified herbalist. When you pay somebody to teach you a course, that's fine if you want to go that route, but it doesn't make your knowledge any more valid than the person who decides to self-teach. Okay, so if you like my videos, if you like meeting plants in my driveway and what I'm all about, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. If you're watching on YouTube, come find me on Instagram. If you're watching on Instagram, come find me on YouTube. All of these things really help to get this information out there. They help people see what I'm all about, what I'm doing, and so they can learn that they're smart enough too, okay? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!